Hello everyone, welcome to the most cringiest video you will see. Yes, this is Waifu Wars. The video where we take two game series and compare the girls from each. Which girls will reign supreme? Well, you'll find out. For this episode, we have Stardew Valley, probably one of my favorite games, versus Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. Yes, this is the sequel that will be coming out of Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town, so it's a little bit of a different take, a little bit of different art style. Alright, first up, we have Abigail versus Karen. So, Abigail, let's go over some of the good points about her. First of all, purple hair. I mean, you can't go wrong with a girl that dyes her hair, kind of has that little bit of a goth style to her, but she's willing to get down and dirty and fight in the mines with you. So that's kind of a good take on her. She also plays video games, and contrary to what people say, gamer girls, pretty awesome, pretty cool, work pretty well. The one negative she does have is she eats rocks. I mean, you expect this from like a 10-year-old, but from a, fully adult girl, kind of weird. So that's a knock against her. Now, both of them do live in an item shop, so that's a bonus to both. Karen, though, alcoholic. Not a good sign, not something you want to be around. She might be a violent drunk, who knows? She does like the finer things in life, though. She does like some fine wine that you can give her to wine and dine her. So I think on this one, I'm going to give it up to my girl, Abigail. Up next, we got Haley and Jennifer. Now, Jennifer's a new character that has been added in to Story of Seasons, so I absolutely have no idea what the hell anything about her is going to be like. I don't know what her story is. I don't know what her entire motif will be. So we're going to have to go off of looks, and that's kind of, it's not the best way to do things, but you know what, we're going to go off of looks. You can read a book by its cover. Jennifer, she's kind of got that hippie gypsy look. I'm going to knock that as a point off. That's just no. I do like her style though, like the clothing looks high end, blonde hair, mature look to her. So, we can go with that. That's an alright bonus. Now Haley, she's got photography as a hobby, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, she's got hobbies. She's not going to be just hanging around you all day. As you go on along with the story, she does get better, becomes a better person, becomes a more enriching person. She's not a horrible person throughout the entire game, and once you see her later events, she actually does stuff to help out the community, and that's a huge boon. But on the downside, she is very, very mean when you first meet her. She's very arrogant about herself and everything going on around her, so that knocks off a point, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, I still have to give it to my girl Haley. I think she's an awesome character compared to Jennifer, who looks like nothing and has no skills or real attributes in the English version. And I didn't read up on the Japanese version, so I don't care. All right, next up, Penny versus Anne. The one thing is, both of these girls are redheads. An immediate point. That's like an immediate point for each of them. You can't go wrong. They both kind of are on the similar spectrum. They both kind of do this more like maternal stuff. Like Anne is very hardworking at the inn with her father. Penny's very hardworking and has to deal with like a rougher lifestyle. The one thing that sets them apart, and it's unfortunate because it's not going to be based on them, it's going to be based on other portions. And I think the biggest thing that's going to set Anne apart is the fact that her dad isn't like a complete like horrible person in the game. He's actually relatively cool, and he's like that good like person you'd want as a father-in-law. Whereas like Penny dealing with Pam, Oh boy. Oh man, that is like the roughest thing. I dislike Pam in every sort of the word. She is the worst character in the game and should just never have been made in the game. Ever. And it sucks because Penny's such a motherly character. It's, no, Penny. Unfortunately, you do not win this one, Penny. And I'm gonna give it to my girl, Anne. Alright. So next up, we have two of the girls that I honestly don't really know too much about in the games because I never really go after them. Which is kind of a humorous thing when you think about it because, well, they are two of the characters in the game. And that is Maru and Mary. Maru, I don't know why. I've just never liked her dad. Like, her dad threatens you immediately when you even, like, get any sort of heart value with her. He comes off like this overprotective jerk. It's just a very, like, cringy situation. She does build robots, though, and is, like, incredibly smart in the game. So that's an awesome attribute for her. I like that. I mean, she creates a robot that has sentience, which is kind of odd, dangerous, whatever you want to take it as. And the biggest thing is she is a nurse. Yes, she helps out at the clinic, which is pretty awesome. I mean, she helps out. She, like, does a lot of good for the community. She, like, you know, gives back. She's great. Now, my problem with Mary is the opposite. She reads. She knows a lot about herbs and, you know, she knows about nature and stuff and, like, from a scientific perspective, which is cool, but you don't really see her do any of that. Her character honestly comes off as kind of boring. Like, there's just no, like, I played Harvest Moon. I don't remember anything about Mary being interesting. Like, I think I tried to date her in one of the profiles I had, and I was just like, this is tedious. And she's in the library all day, so you don't really have to do anything to find her. It's not a challenge. So I'm gonna give it to Maru. Alright, now this is one of the toughest ones for me. This is Leah and Potpourri, I believe is her name. I'm not sure if that's how you exactly say it, but that's how I've always said it. So, Leah makes all these awesome sculptures. And I mean, like, the sculptures are awesome. Like, they're cool. You get to keep one as an event. Yeah, Potpourri, though, she takes care of all of your animals, and, like, she's, like, the one that, you know, sells them to you. It's pretty cool. Leah's one big issue that I have with her is, like, she has so much baggage in the game. Like, when you get further along in her quest line, you end up, like, meeting her ex-boyfriend, and, like, it just turns into this, like, very, odd situation. So it's kind of a lot of baggage on her. But on the opposite side, Potpourri has this issue that in the game, I believe his name is Kai. Like, she's obsessed with him. Like, it's not even like oh, you know, she kind of, like, likes this guy. No, it's like, she loves his, like, energy. And if you don't marry her, she will disappear from the game for, like, whole seasons. Like, you just lose a character. So you're almost, like, forced into this. If you don't want characters to disappear, you almost have to go that way. And it's like, well, if you're not really into her, it kind of hurts. So that's a huge downer. They both kind of, Potpourri, I mean, she comes from, like, a long line of animal sellers. That's good. You know, she has probably a family business that she'll pick up. Her mom's pretty cool. And, I mean, like, Leah, she's your neighbor. She, like, hangs out with you. She's that girl that, like, you know, you need some milk, eggs. You can go bump into her. You can get that stuff. Not in game, this is how I think neighbors deal with. I don't know, I've only really seen old TV shows about it, what neighborhood is like, I don't know. The only thing I don't like about Leah is, like, her whole thing is just the art situation. Like, there's no real, like, external stuff coming from her. It's just like, hey, here's my art. And it's like, okay, do you have anything else you do? Nope, art. Okay, well, whatever. But on the opposite side, you have Potpourri, who's like kind of naive in the game, like and ditzy. At least that's like how our character comes along. So this is probably one of the tougher ones. So honestly, I'm probably... Oh man, I think I'm gonna go with Potpourri. Just because I feel like you have to or she'll leave forever. Alright, and finally, we have Emily versus Ellie. Oh my gosh, this is a tough one for me because immediately, I actually, in my first game of one of the other games, Harvest Moon Back to Nature, married Ellie because of the mere fact I just liked that she was a nurse, and I thought that she was super sweet in the game. So she's very motherly in the game, she cares, she's just like, she takes care of family, she's really great. But you have Emily who's kind of doing the same thing. She's hardworking, provides for her sister, tries to like keep this whole situation of them like staying afloat. And I always kind of took that as like, wow, that's a really cool character trait to have. So it's like, you know, they kind of like have that both up. Emily, her main spiel is she sews, she's really into nature, she's really into like the spirituality. My problem is she comes off as a little hippie-ish, but you know, her being able to sew, her being able to do that stuff is cool. Ellie is the town nurse. She definitely heals you when you need it. She takes care of you, all that kind of stuff. So she's a great character. I love the old style Victorian dress, like that I don't know if that's Victorian. That kind of dress, I love that, that's amazing. So the one thing that knocks Emily down is the mere fact that she leads on Clint. And I really dislike this because I don't like Clint, but I don't like the fact he is so like swooning over her. But like she is so like oblivious to it throughout the entire game, and like it's really never brought up. So it kind of like brings off this rough like, I need Clint because he does all my blacksmith like stuff. But I mean, I don't like him, but I don't like to see him like led on, I guess. So it's kind of the only thing I can knock her for. So I think on this one, my girl Ellie's taking it. So right now, at the end of our first round, we have Abigail still around, Haley, Anne, Maru, Potpourri, and Ellie. Now I want to know if you guys agree with these. Don't disagree, whatever you think about it. I'm curious. Do you guys agree with this? If you want to see more of this horrible series, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. We'll do some other ones. There are some suggestions in the bottom. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.